Construction training is finally fast enough. Workbenches offer strong, relaxed XP, while contracts make your planks go further. But if the skill's best active methods are still needlessly frustrating, did Jagex fix construction, or only the XP rates? When you look at all of that, is that a comfortable XP rate for construction? To get a skill like that to 120?
Yeah. I think it's very appropriate, especially in the context that OSRS has like pretty comparable, putting eternal magics aside, OSRS has pretty comparable experience rates to what we have for Mahogany with their build and destroy, and
Yeah.
what we had for our build and destroy, and now what we have with our workbench furnisher. And the thing with construction is that it's always been very resource intensive, but it's been high experience rates. And now we've had so much experience creep over the years that eternal magics haven't necessarily, there are certainly skills that are faster than that don't require as many resources and all of that. But I think it hits a much more balanced perspective for I'm going to say resources. I don't know what the cost of these things are, obviously, but it feels a lot more reasonable, whereas construction historically has been very expensive to train.
Eternal's planks were going for about 11k yesterday when I checked. That's why I pointed out very early on in this discussion, Kingdom.
It's like 19 GP per XP.
Very, very good.
I don't know if that's good anymore or not, or I don't know how that ranks with everything anymore. It feels like skilling has gotten so cheap over the years.
So what's the deal here in terms of the general state of construction training? Because I feel like we were all sad last week, and I ignored.
We were all sad last week. Well, it was a sad state of affairs.
I wanted to ignore the sadness last week because I was so happy with the house.
Listen, some of us were not happy with the house. Some of us didn't care about the house. If we had the training method update that we got this week last week with the rest of the update to the skill, there would have been a lot less complaining about the update. Let me just say that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And there are still people who are complaining about the way contracts have been integrated. Like, people have been complaining for years that there's no additional rewards for construction after you unlock the outfit in the plank box. You can still get points, but you can't do anything with them. There's no
there's no consumable,
supplies,
there's no
consumables
big ticket
or anything.
Item.
And that's still the case. Construction, eternal magic planks give the same amount of points as Mahogany does. Like, why? Why doesn't it give one more like the rest of them do? Each tier increases by one. Like, that's just a small potatoes thing. I know there's nothing to spend it on, but like, come on,
I think contracts. One thing that's been kind of been stuck in my craw for the last couple of days is I remember when contracts came out, and I think it was Raven saying we built this system to be extensible, something we can add on to later. And then that was 4 years ago?
Well, the reason that didn't happen is because the same thing
about the construction update last week, right?
Yeah. Yes, you're right, Shane. The reason that didn't happen is because the fort happened. But still, like, you made this system to be extendable. Extend it.
Yeah. And for the love of God, look at what OS did with their quality of life update to the contracts in 2024, to the point that getting contracts is now just a very clear loop, and you're not taken out of it at all. And I think we use too many resources in our contracts. They don't use candles, they don't use cloth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff to carry around your inventory, but in terms of the amount that you use, it's really not that bad, especially for the experience you get. The thing that bothers me there are two main things that bother me about construction contracts. One is that every time you interact with a build hotspot, it pops up a menu and you have to select which one that you want to build of the 5 tiers.
That's one of them.
I never want to build anything other than the highest tier.
Yeah,
so why do you keep asking me? That's a big problem. And the other big problem is you spend you build up this bar, And then at the end of it, that's when you perform the construction action. So you've completed the bar, but then you get locked into the build animation.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's
some
just like it
animation
feels
jank.
like you should be moving on to the next thing at that point, but you're stuck there. And I find that very frustrating.
Yeah, it's a weird animation jank. I think it was designed assuming an interaction model that didn't actually materialize.
To make it
Like I
kind
think
of
it
like
was
it might be like a mining and smithing kind of interaction deal then, maybe.
kind of well, like because to Lemon, to your first point about why does it prompt you every time what you want to make? Like I feel like it was built on the assumption, or is designed with the assumption that you're going to go and hell or high water, you're going to finish it. So if you run out of mahogany planks, you're going to finish it with teak. You're not going to run to the bank to get more mahogany planks. But let's be real. We're going to the bank to get more mahogany planks
You're gonna
because
get,
that's how the
yeah.
rewards are designed.
It doesn't matter if you did 4/5 of the thing with mahogany and 1/5 with teak.
Right,
Whatever the lowest thing was is what you're getting rewarded based off
right.
of.
So yeah, I'm taking the 5 seconds to go to the damn bank.
For folks watching
Yeah.
on YouTube, I am detailing how simple the OSRS Mahogany Homes construction contracts are.
Click, click, click.
Why are you clicking twice? Oh, it's remove and then build. Okay, I gotcha.
It's so simple. It's so sleek.
It really is. And then when
And
it's
you are
done,
still using bars.
then all you do when you're done is you just talk to the NPC. You get your XP, you get a cup of tea, you fire off your NPC contact, and away you go, barring any kind of
do
things
not allow Google Chrome to find devices on your network.
And then immediately right off the bat, you just get a brand new contract from the NPC contact specialist just by tabbing through it. Then the plugin highlights where you go next. You take a little while to run there, as I had the wrong GE teleport set up there in Varrock. And then bam, it just repeats. And that is my biggest complaint with the RS3 construction contracts, is that they're needlessly complex when they're not engaging to be that complex. And I came around to this after playing with the so-called active training at the fort this week. I was, like saying, well, you're just following a sparkle, right? It can't be that bad. And when you're dealing with a building that takes, 25 minutes to build, it is kind of bad. Mm-hmm. So neither of the active forms of what's the word? Not integration, just the active forms of gameplay in this skill up to this point are that mentally stimulating compared to, just being able to get into a nice flow state and train for these skills. And that is my biggest, I think, thing that construction on RS3 is missing, is that we're missing like a real active training method at this point. Because I'm content to call either the fort at its most AFK, an AFK training method, even if it's not that great on XP. But even then, as we showed, the furniture workbench training really isn't that bad for the kind of integration and attention it demands.
Yeah.
So it's my hope that we get to a slightly better spot than we are right now. But I don't think it's the worst out of all the skills that we have. Do you guys kind of agree with that sentiment?
Oh, it's definitely not the worst.
I mean, there's a lot of competition for the worst. I would say that it's the most needlessly frustrating. Like if they just changed like two things about contracts, they would feel so much better.
Yeah.
And it feels like that would, I don't know anything about game development, right? I don't know the only programming I have ever done is in Visual Basic, right? Like I'm not a programmer. But like it seems to me like this shouldn't be a complicated fix. It just says it's not on the priorities. And maybe it should be on the priorities considering we just got a construction update and this is the best way to train. One of the 3 ways to train the skill. But I hope that we can. There have been some really big structural issues with the game that we are fixing this year, but there are a lot of like tiny little friction points and not good friction points, very frustrating friction points